This is part 3 of 4 of this A Guy with AI episode. Part 4 and the full episode video are linked at the end screen. Something I'd like to bring in here at this point, and in order to bridge to the personal listening end of things, is the concept of theory of mind. Now, in the concept of theory of mind, we are appreciating that there is another person who is there, and they are thinking about what is going on around them, just as we are thinking about what is going on around us. So in communicating with that other person, we are going to attempt to appreciate how it's going to land when we say something. Let's take that example, that if we weren't sure how something was going to go in a conversation with somebody, let's say it's something at least kind of important. So it's important that we come up with responses and things to say that the other person is going to appreciate, or at least not completely rebel against, and it's not going to spoil things to say certain stuff to that person. So let's say this is a friend or an acquaintance and you want to smooth things over. You may have genuinely made an error, but you feel apologetic about it and you want to make amends. So you wouldn't say things like, you're such a jerk or something like that. That wouldn't appeal to their mindset as to where you are in the conversation. You would think about something that maybe even if they were a friend, that they would personally appreciate for you to say. So there might even be, if you have a really good relationship with that person, you might make a certain joke about something that had happened in the past, and it's just a common joke that you share, or something like that. And it might even be that you develop a certain joke between you that makes it understood when you know that you've made a mistake and that you're sorry and that you probably are going to take steps to amend your approach in the future. So that's how we might use theory of mind to think about what we might say next. But what about what we're going to listen to? So we might need to take cues of context, such as our history of our relationship with a person. We might want to take some cues from what has just happened and what the conversation directly is about, and maybe some other things. Now, let's have it as a conversational answer this time, AI co-host. The lists are nice, but maybe we've had a few lists already. Give me a response to what you think about that and how theory of mind can be used in order to improve our listening skills as we appreciate the context of the fact that we are hearing from a person who is out there thinking just like we do.
Theory of mind is deeply interwoven with the art of listening. It's the recognition that another person's thoughts, perspectives, and feelings are just as complex and nuanced as our own. This awareness can significantly enhance our ability to listen and understand others. Consider a scenario where you need to apologize to a friend. Listening with theory of mind involves tuning into their state. It's not just about the words they say, but the tone of disappointment in their voice, the hurt in their eyes, or the tension in their posture. These cues tell a story beyond the verbal message. You recognize that your friend is not just reacting to a specific incident, but also bringing in a history of interactions, expectations, and feelings about your relationship. In listening, employing theory of mind means you consider how your friend might interpret and filter what you're saying based on their experiences. If you have shared jokes in the past that allowed you to navigate awkward or difficult situations, this shared history gives you a tool, a sort of emotional shorthand, that can help signal your intentions and mutual understanding. Moreover, when you listen with an empathetic mindset, you're better equipped to read between the lines. You can grasp the subtext of your friend's words. Are they just expressing frustration about the current issue, or is there a deeper sense of betrayal or sadness? This nuanced understanding guides your responses and can help coax out what they might be hesitant to say directly. By respecting the depth of another person's inner world, you make space for a more genuine interaction. This level of engagement shows that you don't just see the immediate problem, but the whole person and the dynamics involved. In both our personal and professional lives, such active, theory of mind-informed listening can help avoid misunderstandings, build stronger relationships, and foster an environment where people feel heard and valued. And that's the essence of effective communication, isn't it? To not just transmit data, but to connect, understand, and be understood.
Yes, and I think it is about connection when we communicate, at least very often. Now, bringing it back to the professional example, sometimes we don't make with every phone call or email a deep personal connection. That may, in fact, not be the goal of that communication effort. And it may not be what you want to hear about when you simply have tasks to complete and you're looking at orders. Sometimes people put little things in email signatures which communicate a positive message, and perhaps that would brighten your day and make you feel like you're in a human environment after all, which might be good to foster if it helps people to feel a little bit more natural in the environment and to be connected to something that is positive. So little things like that can be good, but sometimes the communication is meant to be direct. And you would want to listen for that. You would want to listen if you're merely being updated with some quick information from your boss or a colleague or someone like that who doesn't want to chit chat. And theory of mind can come into that, I think. It tells us what someone's attitude is when they present us with information. If they're simply being a jerk, then that may be something nuanced and complex that you have to figure out in a not only fast-paced, but possibly politically complicated environment if that's your workplace. But in the end, this theory of mind stuff lets us have context, which helps us navigate these things. We can read the room using theory of mind. What's everybody thinking about? How's everybody around me responding to a certain revelation that just came from higher ups or back from a client or some impactful piece of information which seems to send a whisper through the room or something like that? What are people thinking? What am I thinking? What is the person in the other department thinking right now? And what do I need to prepare in order to get that ready? So it's not only listening to what people are saying to you, it's reading the environment. And then if you are able to appreciate what upper management is going to say about something in a predictive way, then hopefully this isn't going to trip you up when they actually say something. You would still need to listen very clearly to what it is, the content of what they're telling you in their next communication. However, if you understand who they are and what their relationship is to problems and how they may be affected by a revelation of some sort that comes the way of the business, to use this business example again and again, this tells us that if we can appreciate those things and then someone speaks and then we take that information and then we may need to do something next, it may be a pressure situation we're in. Wouldn't it be great if we not only heard the words of someone, but appreciated their meaning and integrated them into something that was context friendly, let's say, even in contexts where not all influences are friendly on us?
In the professional context, the balance between creating connections and maintaining efficiency in communication is crucial. While not every interaction necessitates a deep personal bond, applying theory of mind can enhance understanding and navigation through workplace dynamics, as you pointed out. In practical terms, improving listening in a business setting means recognizing that a colleague's brisk email or a manager's terse instructions are not just strings of words with explicit meanings, but also carry with them an array of subtextual elements informed by their attitudes, current pressures, and the culture of the organization. An employee with a well-honed sense of theory of mind will pick up on these subtle cues, acknowledging not just the immediate content, but the broader implications of the message. When people are responding to a significant event, whether it's a major success, an unexpected setback, or news that affects the business, reading the room becomes as important as listening to specific conversations. Your colleague's silence, another sigh, or a flurry of side conversations can all convey a wealth of information about the collective sentiment. Tuning into these non-verbal cues complements the verbal messages received and can inform a more appropriate and strategic response. In high-pressure situations, this nuanced understanding, based on an appreciation of the context and the potential impact of developments on different stakeholders, can be particularly valuable. It enables preemptive thinking and proactive action, perhaps preparing responses, demonstrations of support, or contingency plans even before explicit instructions are given. However, The utility of theory of mind goes beyond preemptive strategy. It improves relationships by fostering a more empathetic environment where colleagues know they are understood not just as cogs in a business machine, but as individuals with their own aspirations, challenges, and responses to the workplace's rhythms. This understanding can be motivational and lead to a greater sense of workplace satisfaction, translating into higher productivity and, arguably, improved staff retention. Therefore, skillful listening, underpinned by a solid grasp of theory of mind, yields a multifaceted awareness. It prepares employees to respond effectively to explicit communications, to read between the lines, and to anticipate the needs and reactions of those around them. It's more than just not tripping up. It's about contributing to a workplace where individuals feel valued, where collaboration is effective, and where everyone is poised to navigate through complex, often unpredictable business landscapes with acumen and sensitivity.
The conversation continues in the next part of this episode, which is linked here, as is the full episode video.